Welcome to It Takes Two. I'm Blair.
I'm Chris.
And today we'll be talking about the Real Housewives of Atlanta, Season 16, Episode 9, After Show.
Listen here, subscribe, like, share, comment. If you haven't watched our review of the episode, watch that. Come back and watch the After Show review. We still gonna be here. You ready, Blair?
I'm ready.
Walk us through this After Show, please.
So apparently the ladies were talking trash about Angela because she gave Porsha a hard time the whole trip, according to Porsha. Angela woke up, heard what was said about her and her husband. The ladies believed she was eavesdropping, but her room was right over the pool.
Yeah.
Which Porsha failed to remember.
Well, she blamed it on the alcohol.
Shamea said that she only knew Charles, and throughout all these years, it was surprising that she never saw Angela, and she didn't think that Angela could dress well. That's pretty much all that Shamea said. Porsha said that she would F Charles, and Angela went down to confront her about it because the whole F and people's husband thing, apparently Porsha does that for sport, according to Angela. It pissed Angela off that no one checked her. All these married women laughing, kikiing with Porsha about her talking about messing with a married man. Shamea said that she was going to stay out of it. She doesn't need to be in every situation. And Kelly said that Porsha needs to learn not to F people's husbands.
Now, here's the thing about it, Shamea, right? You stay out of things when you know Portia's wrong. See, that's the tell about all of it right there.
That's the point.
That's the point, right? When she knows Porsha is wrong, she stays out of it.
Yeah.
But when it could get a little murky, when it could get a little bit like I could convince you to my point, that's when all of a sudden you get called a lapdog. You basically get called a bodyguard, the one that's basically standing up for Porsha. That's my friend. But when someone is objectively wrong and you're laughing and kikiing, see, it's one thing if you want to stay out of it, but I ain't hear you laugh, I ain't see you dancing, but I heard you laughing, I saw you dancing about it. At the end of the day, you can still be friends with someone and be like, chill, too far, calm down. You get what I'm saying? At that time, Angela, who was overseeing the pool and things like that, would have heard you say, chill, calm down, that's too far. You know what I mean? So that's why I'm like, I think she kind of sees Shamea for who she is. And that is something that we're not seeing, or we're starting to see, in the sense of, oh, you can fight some of these battles, but not the battles that Porsha is 101% wrong. Yeah, it seems kind of phony.
And that's the thing, too, like Shamea was saying, and it would have been awkward if I was trying to check her while we were all chilling, having fun. It doesn't have to be awkward. You could just been like, oh, girl, stop.
Yeah.
You know, you could have said something small, or you could have just sat there and looked at her.
Look. and that's 100. Listen, when you're right, you ain't wrong. Shamea has proven herself throughout this whole season that she is smart, she is funny, and she's witty. Yeah. So she could have found a funny, smart, or witty way to basically be opposite of what Porsha said.
Yes.
You get what I'm saying?
Instead of being up her behind.
Something as simple as, Porsha girl, please stop. They go come for us. Yeah. So there's just something. I don't know. I'm not as witty as Shamea. But I'm just saying, Shamea, you have shown yourself to be that type of housewife that you're smarter than that. You get what I'm saying? And in that moment, you chose not to say something. While I will bring up again, you had a problem with Marlo when Marlo alluded that she could sleep with your man. And not boyfriend, your husband. So now we kind of see the cracks in your character.
So we get to Angela versus Brit. Yeah. Angela was reading Brit down.
Yeah.
Brit thought that she connected with Angela, and then she just switched up on her at the party. That's not what happened.
That's
Brit.
not what
happened.
happened.
I see why Brit and Porsha are sitting next to each other, because they retell stories in whatever way that fits their narrative.
Like me. Yeah. You know?
And it's just like, okay, Brit, she didn't just switch up on you. You were coming at her when she was trying to sit there and enjoy the Bailey cue.
Yeah.
So everyone came on theme to the party except for Porsha. The prophet apparently was on point with Kelly's information. Drew is known to keep a few prophets around, and she really didn't want people to know any information that they might use against her. Yeah. Basically what the prophet told her is that she needs to get more vulnerable with the ladies. She was on point about some stuff about Ralph and her marriage and how she needs to stay focused on her career. Okay. Shamea felt that the prophet was kind of hit or miss because she mentioned financial troubles in Shamea's life, and Shamea checked the accounts. Everything's looking good.
Hey, listen here, man. It's just something to do. You know what I mean? Like how some people do palm reading and things like that. I would never partake in that type of stuff. But it's just something. Listen, we got to do something more than just sit around and just eat food, I guess Cynthia was thinking. I'm saying I'm going to bring somebody here to basically read about y'all futures and things of that nature. But at the end of the day, I always feel like if you bring somebody in And guess what? The first one who get read should be the host. That's what I feel like. You know what I mean? To make us feel comfortable. But, it is what it is. It's just something fun to watch.
So Cynthia thought this was a good opportunity for Angela to make amends with Porsha and Shamia. Porsha said that they were just talking mess. Angela took it too deep. Angela accepted the apology in an effort to move on. Shamia doesn't get how Angela can forgive Porsha, but couldn't forgive her. Angela was upset because Shamia and her had just made amends. The wives that she's typically around don't play about their husbands. Yeah. Shamia said that she might laugh depending on how someone says they would F her husband if they were to say that about her. She doesn't have anything to do with people talking trash, and it would have been awkward for her to tell Porsha not to say it in that moment. Angela said that there's some type of mind control with Shamia about Porsha, and you should be able to check your friend. Cynthia says that she can't have friends who's not going to check her.
Here's the thing about it, right? Shamia and Angela had some type of riff inside one of the stores. I forgot which store it was early in the season.
Balmain for Kelly's.
Yeah, right? In that moment, Shamia was the one, because truth be told, I don't even think Angela took the riff that seriously.
No.
It was just something that, you know what, is your nose, and then you look like, this person, and this nose, you got to fix. It just seemed like it was just going back and forth, right? Shamia was the one that took it upon herself to be like, you know what? That did not sit right with me, right? Angela did not pay her dust or anything. This was literally the next day, or like the next episode. She said, that did not sit right with me. This is Shamia. And I want to offer you a physical olive branch, because I don't want to be the type of person to where I'm tearing down another black woman or another woman, period, appearance in that way. In that moment, it kind of gives us some type of like, okay, even something as playful as y'all was doing, you see it as something more. She took that upon herself. I don't see how Shamia don't see how this is totally more than what the little thing that y'all was doing before then. So that's why I'm like, I think you do understand why Angela feels some type of way, because number one, you're Porsha's best friend. So you know the rumors around Porsha and how she took that woman's husband, right? And to play around with that, I don't know why. Maybe you feel like it's not a big deal because your husband is safe from Porsha if she's taking everybody else's husband except for your husband. So as long as my husband good, it's not my business. But Shamia is actually being a hypocrite in this way, because I don't see how you don't see how someone would be offended by that.
I think Shamia sees it, and she's just doing what Porsha does, which is not being accountable.
Yeah.
and not having anything to say, because there were so many moments where Kelly was basically saying like Porsha was tripping. Porsha shouldn't be effing people's husband. Porsha shouldn't have said that. And Shamia was able to be quiet. So you know when to be quiet.
Oh, yeah.
And not to get involved in people talking mess. But when it comes to Porsha, you got to be a he, ha, ha, ha. When she's talking about messing with other people's husbands as a married woman yourself. Yeah. And the thing is, like Shamia said, she said I'm not going to react how people expect me to react. That's fine. And then we're going to have a viewpoint about it.
Yeah, and then don't try.
And that's all.
And don't try to blur the lines of like, I wasn't laughing on she go sleep with your husband. Maybe I was laughing on maybe how she said it. You get what I'm saying? It's like, Shamia, stop it. How did you feel going back to the Angela and Brit thing, right? In the scene on the actual show, Kelly was defending Brit because they was friends, right? Now, as we know, or as we seen in the mid-trailer and things of that nature, that, hey, Brit not really feeling, not Brit. Kelly not really feeling Angela. Kelly is not really feeling Brit. There we go, right? Now it kind of seemed like they was kikiing, they was laughing. Shamia was basically, she was reacting to scene and things of that nature. Do you feel like in that way, now since you and Brit not friends no more with Kelly and things like that, do you feel like that was kind of phony in a way?
I don't think it was phony. Okay. No, because they're not cool anymore. I don't think that Kelly stepped over the line in any type of way, talking about like their old friendship or, tearing her down in any type of way. So I didn't feel any type of way about it. Yeah.
I was reading some people saying like Kelly was being phony for basically, if you're going to defend Brit in the show, like don't come in the after show since y'all not friends no more, and basically like make fun of her or basically laugh with her. I said all she did was retold the story. Yeah. She didn't add 20 on 10 and things like that. I thought it was funny, and the thing about it is, as many people would say, Brit, with the history that you allegedly have, you shouldn't be coming at people the way you come at people. Everything that has happened to Brit, she has initiated.
Oh, absolutely.
Literally everything.
But you ask her, and people just switch up on her for no reason.
I don't really understand it. I don't understand it.
Yeah.
Anything else in this that stood out to you before I ask 2 more questions?
Let's hear your questions. Mm-hmm.
Now that we see that Shamia and Porsha is going to fall out or they're going to have some type of rift, do you think there's going to be any time or any moment that they may get back together and being best friends?
I think they will.
Okay.
And I don't think they should.
Oh, okay.
Because to me, Porsha comes across as somebody who's not going to change, who's not going to see their wrongs, who's not going to apologize. Of course, I don't know her, so I don't know any of this to be true. But the way that it comes across as her character on television, Shamia is going to be hurt, and Porsha is not going to understand why, and she's not going to try to figure out why. You know, so I think for Shamia's best interest, she shouldn't be friends with Porsha. But I can see Shamia wanting to keep a door open for that friendship because it's been a friendship for so long. But just because you're friends with somebody for long, it doesn't mean that they treat you right.
Yeah.
So,
I really want to know what was the rift that caused them, or at least caused Shamia to see that, hey, our friendship is really one-sided. Because when it comes to being best friends with somebody, I know you're not supposed to keep score, but internally you kind of know, hey girl, you late to my wedding, or you didn't come to my wedding, you're late to my party, or you don't show up. It's feeling one-sided internally. You knowing that, I want to externally what made Shamia basically break down to where they got to fan her and basically console her about her friendship with Porsha.
I look forward to see it.
But I want to speculate.
Okay.
like I want to speculate because I'm like, is it... Because we see the whole thing with Angela with the whole thing stirring the pot. But I'm like, was it an event that she didn't come to? I think, truth be told, I think what's happening is everybody is starting to see that Porsha, this may have been a bad hire for her to at least be the anchor of the show. And I think she's starting to say, hey, maybe I should not tie my boats to Porsha. And I think whatever she's feeling internally, she just gonna let it out externally. And this is her way out of basically saying, you know what, I'm gonna jump off the ship of Porsha, this Porsha ship.
Possibly. Yeah. And I agree with you in the sense of like, what now? Because there's been so many different things in the past to where Porsha hasn't shown up for Shamia in the way that Shamia has shown up for her. So what is so bad at this breaking point that the relationship has to end? So
listen to him. I am very interested in it. Anything else that happened in this after show that stood out to you?
Nope.
Listen, I need y'all to subscribe, like, share, comment. We see y'all next week. Bye.
Bye.